All right, we will call the October 11th, 2022 Board of Public Works and Safety to order. Any adjustments to the agenda, Chris? Seeing that there are no adjustments, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We were both here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff. I will second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to resolutions, request to approve a professional services agreement with Doxon Utilities.
Stand in the middle.
Yes, I guess so. Yeah,
Like I'm in court.
yeah.
For the record, Lisa Bradford, City Controller. The item before you, as mentioned, was a professional service agreement with Doxon Utilities. So for the past 7 to 8 years, we have contracted with Huntington Bank actually to do our print and mail services for our utility invoices. They do both sewer and stormwater. So we had gone with Huntington because they're one of the few banks that has a lockbox and then was offering to actually print the invoices. About this time last year, we were in the throes of the HSE acquisition. They mentioned to us that they were going to remove themselves from the print and mail world. They have stayed on to help us through the transition, but we're ready to find a new print and mail provider. So that's what Doxon does. They do lots of large energy companies. They do, I believe, whatever the electrical company is out of Indianapolis now, official name.
Is the cost significantly different than what we're doing for?
Not really, because really the biggest cost on this is always the postage.
Gotcha.
So we can't, and no one really can offer a
Can
discount.
get a discount on the post
Yeah,
office?
like you can, because everybody's kind of the same on the actual like printing of the actual invoice, but the actual bulk mailing cost is the same pretty much all around. So they're very skilled in this arena. So it's a pretty similar, I mean, obviously our cost is up significantly, but that's because we have 35,000
Right.
customers as opposed to 5,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Lisa. Next is a request to revoke right-of-way permits. Jason?
Good morning, Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Before you is our first time having to revoke some right-of-way permits. These are related to 3 5G cell structures in along Fuller Court, Avila Way, as well as Easy Street. It's been 2 years since the permit was approved, and there's not been any construction activity on the structures themselves.
So to be clear, Chris, procedurally, we revoke these, they have to start over?
That's correct. So when we approved and took Verizon in the neighborhoods through our 5G process, by state law, we were allowed to restrict construction or require that construction commence within 2 years of the permit being issued. All the locations that are before you today have gone beyond that 2-year construction time period. So they're officially expired within our system now. We'll revoke them. Verizon would like to seek the new locations. They can reapply for the waivers.
Should be in the back of the documentation as well.
Any questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff. I'll second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is request to approve grant agreement with CERTA regarding the White River Park. Yeah, you want that one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So this is an agreement with the Central Indiana Regional Development Authority. So CERTA was awarded $20 million for the READY grant. And as part of CERTA, the city of Fishers is getting approximately $4.5 million that is going to be applied to its White River State Park, White River Park, I should say, along 96th and Allisonville. And so we are a member of CERTA itself, but we're also a sub-grantee of the grant that CERTA has from the state. So we have to have a separate sub-agreement with CERTA to administer the funds as a reimbursable. So CERTA has a fund with IEDC. The city of Fishers will have a grant with CERTA as well. And everything has to be administered pursuant to the sub-grant agreement that we have with CERTA. So couple pass-through entities, but it's the paper trail that the state is requiring to get the grant dollars out. So happy to answer any questions with that.
I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is request to approve a lease with Fall Creek Township. Jason needs a new office.
Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. I do need a new office. City Hall is being demoed and
Imminently, right? When is the day of destruction? Next week, maybe? Something like that?
so as part of the relocation displacement, the engineering department has moved out to the Fall Creek Township at 116th and Brook School. Working with our legal team and others, we've been able to move out there. This is the formality of signing the agreement and the rate for that. This will be a temporary scenario until City Hall is actually built and we're able to move in.
Great. I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Jason. Your new office. Mackie, we have 2 dedications of right of way, if I see this correctly.
Yes, they are
At the end.
in the same area. For the record, I'm Tim Mackey, Assistant Director of Engineering. Thank you for the new office. The request to approve the resolution dedicating right of way for the extension of Cynthia Road. So these 2 developments, it's just north, it's on Florida Road, and it's just north of 113th in Florida. And they are grain communities, which is on the west of Florida, and Milford Park on the east of Florida. Last week, we made the dedication for Milford Park, which was on the east side of Florida, and this time it's grain communities, which is on the east side and also on just north of Milford Park. So the first dedication is for the extension of Cynthia Road. So last week was the southern half of the roadway for the dedication. This time is for the northern half for them to build the entire extension of Cynthia Road. This is the first dedication by Greg.
This is item 6.
Yes.
Excuse me, item 5. Yeah, item 5. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff. I'll second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Then item 6.
Item 6 is also by Grain Communities, and it's just across the street. It's on the west side of Florida Road, and that's to continue the final section of the Cynthian extension. It's just for the right turn lanes and exit from Milford Park onto Florida Road. I'm sorry, from Grain Communities.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
Motion.
I'll second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Maggie. Will that work be done in coordination with the S-curve realignment?
No, the S-curve realignment is a city officials
Right.
project. They will be doing that separately.
Separate timing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we will move on to request to approve an IFA's SRF application for Rosanna Village low pressure wastewater system. Jason?
Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Before you is another step of the process that was previously performed by the board. Essentially, we've executed a contract with the design firm to be able to move forward with the design. Jeremy Schmidt with the engineering department has been working closely with IFA to get the SRF application completed for the IFA to be able to identify what funding source they want to use. So this is a little unique that normally they would know the funding source, but in this particular situation, working closely with IFA, they're still trying to identify which one that best fits their needs. But the project is funded. This is a formal process.
So at what point do they sign annexation waivers?
They've already signed.
They sign those,
Just
okay.
before- They did that prior to us being able to move forward with anything with IFA.
Perfect. Okay, got it. And that is timing wise, that's just, we start that process whenever we see fit or after the sewer's complete.
After it's complete, construction is paid.
Gotcha.
So it'll be sometime fall, winter next year.
Start what process?
Annexation. So Jason was able to work with IFA these folks need sewer pretty badly. In exchange for us working with them to get that done, then they become part of Fishers, which is a great step forward and try to eliminate the Swiss cheese that exists here in our city. So, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jeff. I will second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next is a request to approve an agreement for next level trail grant for Nickel Plate Trail between 96th Street and 106th Street.
Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Before you is the actual agreement with DNR. for the award of the $4,533,643 from the Next Level Trail Grant Program. We've already been working with DNR on this with the design, moving forward with the necessary submittals. This is the formal contract that needs to be signed by the board or as appointee to be able to get back to the state.
Is this a reimbursable or is this, they draw requests out of the,
It's kind of a draw request, similar to our other state grants.
gotcha. And timing for the bridge next year?
Where the timing of the design is gonna be going this year, next year, with the bid next year. Construction on the Bridge 24. The trail backbone is gonna be 96 to 106, and the east-west connection is gonna be next year.
That seems like a long time to design.
We have the consultant here.
Yeah.
To answer the questions.
That seems like a long time for pedestrian bridge.
It's really the right-of-way requirements for the bridge that are gonna.
We'll see if we can't condense that somewhat, but all right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
I will second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 9, request to approve a roadway repair work on eastbound 116th Street at Fisher Center Drive.
For the record, it's Ed Mackey, Assistant Director of Engineering, and just a little background on this item. When we were doing utility relocation work for FIB, citizens came in and relocated some of their infrastructure, and they tied a couple of their lines across Fisher Center Drive on 116th Street. They patched it, and shortly after that, we saw a depression on 116th Street. So working with citizens and DPW, they were able to video the line, and they saw that there was undermining caused because of the water line that was installed, and it impacted some of our storm sewer. So with this work, citizens is going to come in, they'll be responsible for excavating, going down there and fixing their lines and fixing the infrastructure. Then Howard Companies will come back in and resurface.
What kind of traffic?
It's gonna impact the eastbound, so there's gonna be restriction for one lane going eastbound. So we'll do it in halves, restrict the outside and then the inside. And then hopefully that will be a quick operation. We'll start on the 17th.
This might be a related note, but what is it? Are these the folks that have been out recently, like the last 2 days, out in the middle of the intersections out here? There's some significant utility work and they ended up cutting a pretty big hole in 116th and Lantern.
No, that is, that's Verizon and their contractor, they're doing boring on the south side of 116th,
Okay.
69 or downtown area.
Just love seeing all these holes
Good thing,
being,
Jason.
yeah, right.
So this is at no cost to us, is that other than the headache of?
Yeah, they have.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
I will second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next is request to approve Ambassador House window replacement. The money pit.
Eric Steiner, Assistant Director of Operations for Public Works. So as part of our facilities capital budget plan, one of our top priorities is to replace all remaining wooden framed windows in the Ambassador House. Very old, well past their life expectancy. In addition, frames and seals are starting to rot away. We'll replace with 31s, single Quaker storage fit aluminum clad windows, 2 arched attic windows, pair of wood shutters. And we advertised for this project and received one responsive bidder. That would be Heartwood Enterprises for $121,683.29.
For 30 windows?
Yes. Yes.
Like, it doesn't, I get an email from our
B windows.
Anderson Windows like every week.
Are these specialty windows?
Yeah. Kidding, I'm
Gotcha. All right, is there a motion to approve?
motion.
I will second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Time frame for that, is that next year, Eric?
Yeah, with order them and then.
Then you have a request to approve Eller Road salt barn renovation.
Sir. So as you may or may not know, we have 2 salt barns at our Eller Road facility. One barn holds our road salt, while the other barn holds our brine salt and is used to house salt spreaders and other winter maintenance equipment in the off-season. The barn that needs renovation is the brine salt barn. The barn was built in 1996 and supported via a cabling system that holds the building taut. Over the course of the past 26 years, the barn has seen a lot of use, which has resulted in the barn needing renovated. Renovation will include a new cabling and eye hook system, kickers for bracing on the exterior of the barn, corner post, and board replacements. Advertised, I will say that it's currently.
It's a compelling use case.
Yes, yes. We advertised for this, received one bid from Paget Construction for $99,650. Recommend moving forward with Paget.
Do you think that this will actually bring it back into some extended period of useful life, or is this a Band-Aid on a pretty big wound?
No, this'll fix.
Okay. Because I know that building's seen better days.
Yeah.
You gotta get it done until you get stuff out. I mean, you have equipment in there you can't get out because it's condemned or you.
No, we have equipment that can't get.
Got it.
All right, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Eric. Request to approve Third Amendment to Trail Encroachment Agreement for Phase 2 of the Nickel Plate Trail.
Good morning, Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. This is the third amendment to our existing previous two amendments on the agreement between us and Duke Energy. Chris has worked diligently with their legal team to be able to provide an update and an amendment to extend the trail down to 96th Street. Just because they do have that easement, we're working closely with them to.
That includes the bridge area.
Yes. And there will potentially be some Fourth Amendment depending on what we work through on the bridge of relinquishment of some of their easement or
Yeah.
not. Still working through those details.
Have we had any feedback from them about how things have worked or operated with them since we've been up and operational?
I think they've, to my knowledge, I mean, Jason's.
I mean, I haven't heard any dire complaints or anything.
Everything's been fine. And the way we set up these agreements too, if you recall, every time we bring another phase forward for construction, we go back, we amend the plans. Duke has to approve all the plans,
Right.
all the construction elements that we do. So they've been kept in the loop with, to a great extent.
And we've been working with them recently just south of South Street. They've had some holes that have needed structural repair. And our trail has provided them easier access to it. So if anything, it's benefiting them.
Have they, it's off topic a little bit, but have they gotten their encroachment agreement with Indianapolis yet?
I believe they're working through it. I don't know if they have the first draft done yet, but.
Okay. All right, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.